Perfect. Well, hello and good afternoon or good morning, depending on where you are joining us from across the country. Tom Glucci here with the Mortgage Collaborative. It's now 1 p.m. for our friends on the East Coast, cascading back across the country to 10 a.m. for those joining us on the West Coast. I want to thank everybody for joining in on today's TMC Connect web broadcast entitled Simplifying Renovation Lending and How Plaza Home Mortgage in particular helps you get it done. So before we dive into today's discussion, just a quick couple housekeeping items I'm going to cover here, and then we'll bring in our discussion leaders. Quick shameless plug for attendees to check out our TMC Connect and member event calendar pages on the Mortgage Collaborative website to see an upcoming schedule of TMC Connect web broadcasts. And in today in particular, actually following right after today's discussion at 2 p.m. Eastern, we have our latest installment of The Last Week in Mortgage Today, where Mortgage Collaborative COO Rich Rabinsky is joined by U.S. Mortgage Corp CEO Stephen A. Milner, as they will go ahead and kind of chat and pontificate on the latest headlines driving the mortgage industry over this past week. So be sure to join in on that discussion a little bit later today. But particularly for today's call, whether you've dialed in or you're connected via your computer, just know that all lines have been muted for the call. And that's really done to just avoid any background noise in your area and to ensure that all attendees can hear today's presentation clearly. Now, that said, we want the discussion to be as interactive as possible. So highly encourage the attendees, any questions you've got, feel free to go ahead and submit those. And I'll be able to verbalize them on your behalf towards the tail end of our discussion today. So how do you do that? Well, you can do it one of two ways. You joined us via Zoom. You can submit any questions you've got either through the chat function or the Q&A box, both of which icons are at the bottom of your screen. I'll see those questions come through on my end and be able to share them out towards the end. And if by chance there are any questions that we don't get the time to address during today's discussion, we'll make sure to capture those and share those back out with our discussion leaders to be able to respond to. So on that note, want to queue up today's discussion leaders. Got a great trio, as I mentioned, from TMC's longest correspondent preferred partner, and that would be Plaza Home Mortgage. So helping lead today's discussion, we have Selfie Meyer, Senior Vice President of National Correspondent Sales. We also have Reagan Cunningham, National Renovation Lending Manager, as well as Phil Sinaway, Senior Underwriter who specializes on the specialty product side. So Selfie, Reagan, Phil, really appreciate each of you taking the time out of your busy schedules to help lead the discussion today for the benefit of our members, and hope that each of you are doing well as we kick into today's discussion. Well, I'll tell you what, on that note, let's go ahead and dive right in. I thought it would be a great place to start with kind of bringing Selfie in just from her experience at Plaza, just a great primer for our members and attendees on the call. Selfie, if you wouldn't mind just even providing kind of a brief overview of some of the key benefits that you find your clients at Plaza really benefit from partnering with Plaza Home Mortgage as their preferred correspondent partner.
Sounds good. Thanks, Tom. Well, good morning and good afternoon. I'm Selfie Meyer. As Tom said, I'm with Plaza, the National Correspondent Sales. Thank you for taking the time to join us today to hear about all the renovation programs that Plaza has to offer. So as far as us on the correspondent side, we've been doing correspondence since 2011. And, we buy a wide variety of programs, and we also have a diverse mix of delivery methods too. So you don't have to just be limited to either bulk or best effort only. You can do either or as far as delivery methods, we're very flexible when it comes to delegated versus non-delegated. Specifically for the programs we're talking about today, wanted to make sure we made a note that you can deliver those delegated or non-delegated. As far as locking, same thing, best effort or bulk, depending on how you like to lock your loans. So it's important to note that those characteristics are available for you. And that really says a lot about us as far as your investor. We are very flexible. We try to accommodate and customize to our clients' needs. So that's why we don't kind of limit things as far as this is the only way you could sell it, or this has got to be this way. So that's a big one for us. And the main kind of backbone of our channel is our certified loan program, which again, going back to renovation, which we're going over today, those loans that you'll be selling to us are all covered by the certified loan program, which if you don't know that, if you haven't been, doing business with us just yet, it's our rep and warranty relief program that protects you from fraud, misrep, manufacturing defects, even some COVID related type of defects. So there's a wide array of things that cover this program. And what's great about it is you don't even have to know or deal with it. It's being done for you and you don't pay anything upfront. It's on every single loan. So those are kind of the unique things we offer. And of course, our relationship managers are wonderful if you haven't already met them. But those are sort of the main things for Plaza Correspondent. Again, if you don't know us, we're headquartered in San Diego and been doing this since 2011. And as Tom said, we are their first preferred partner on the correspondent investor side and have had a really great relationship. So looking forward to more as we look ahead in 2021 together. I hope you guys find the information that Reagan and Phil share with you useful. And should you have any questions on renovation or any other program we have available, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Tom, again, I wanted to thank you for hosting this webinar. So for us to be able to share this with you guys, all of you guys. And without further ado, I am ready to hand the floor, Tom, to Reagan and Phil.
Well, Selfie, thank you so much for providing the overview. And just to piggyback, I mean, your team from your regional AEs all the way down have just always been really a delight to work with. And I couldn't agree more. Just so customer focused, and I think it really speaks to Plaza's value prop of being flexible, knowing there's different lending or execution models that the lending community prefers out there, and the organization does a really great job of being flexible and consultative with lenders abroad, but certainly I've heard the feedback from our members here at the Mortgage Collaborative. So I just wanted to reiterate that, and also with the certified loan program from some of those that I've heard leveraging the program. I mean, typically, one claim on a defect loan has been able to pay for the program and then some. So it's really a key benefit out there, especially for protecting lenders, especially in a COVID environment where there's definitely some unforeseen variables out there that can cause weapon warranty or defects on the loan there. So just really appreciate that. But I know we're here to talk renovation, and particularly kind of what Plaza is doing to help out the client base, simplify the process. So yeah, let's go ahead and bring in Reagan Cunningham. Reagan, if just to kick things off, if you would be so delightful as to give kind of a brief overview of the agenda for the discussion, and then I've got some questions for you that will kind of kick things off.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tom. And thank you for having us here today. We always love talking about our renovation products. So we appreciate the opportunities to spread the word. So today we're going to just really briefly, just like, what is a renovation loan? So you feel comfortable with it. If you've never even looked at a renovation loan, super just quick blurb on that. We're going to talk about all the opportunities that renovation lending offers. Because it opens doors for you that most other products can't open. We're going to talk really briefly about the programs that are available, and we have an exciting announcement about that. Then, renovation lending, the 203K products have been around since the 70s, and they kind of came back during the housing market in 2008, and then they sort of got this bad reputation that they're too hard to do. So we're going to talk about how we've made this process with all our experience of renovation lending over the years that we've been offering this product, how we have made it as simple as possible, and what we can do for you as a partnership in your renovation lending.
Excellent. So, let's go ahead and really dive right in. I think the best way to kick this off is, Reagan, if you'd provide just kind of a brief overview of what typically qualifies as a renovation loan.
Sure. So you always want to think of a renovation loan. It's just a regular conventional loan, a regular FHA loan, a regular VA loan with a few extra pieces that turns it into a renovation loan. And then it's a single closed mortgage that you can include all the costs of the repairs and your upgrades and any construction related fees, roll it into that single closed mortgage. And then everything is always based on what that future value of the home is going to be once it's repaired or the renovations or the upgrades are added. So everything's always based on the as completed value of the home. And a lot of times we use these products, maybe you have a loan that's not meeting minimum property requirements. We can flip it over to a renovation loan and still close that loan and then move forward with the construction. But it's not always a save a loan product. It also gives the borrowers the ability to do maybe their desired upgrades or repairs or square footage or a beautiful outdoor living area, add a pool, add bedrooms, whatever they can think of, we can make it happen with renovation products. So it covers the basics and getting homes, taken care of and deferred maintenance, but we can also go above and beyond and fulfill people's wishes and their dreams and what they want their homes to be.
I love it. Appreciate the high level overview. I want to talk, kind of around the opportunities. I know from our team at the Mortgage Collaborative, we hear a lot from lenders in the network that maybe shy away from renovation lending over, more perceived hurdles that they see as far as being able to, conduct the origination or grow adoption within their originator footprint. Would you provide our audience some perspective on maybe the common misconceptions that you hear from the team at Plaza, whether it be from borrowers, real estate agents or referral partners, or even down to the LO level?
I always say, Tom, that my elevator pitch for my number one job is to dispel the myth that renovation loans are too hard to do. They're just not what they used to be 10, 15 years ago. We still hear things like, oh, we'll wait until we're after the house. The borrower's like, we're not going to worry about that right now. Or we have to wait for renovations until we can get around to affording them. Or we're just going to have to put everything on the credit card. And we only can look at homes that are perfect right now. And then for our real estate partners, it never ceases to amaze me how many of our real estate partners don't even know that these products exist, or that they only know the bad reputations. They're for foreclosures, or that was something we did in 2008. We don't do that anymore. Or, I can't sell a home that doesn't meet minimum property requirements, and we can overcome all of those hurdles with renovation loans. And for our lending partners, these loans take too long to close, or I don't get paid on them until after the construction is complete. And none of those things are true. They close just like any other loan, and then we take over. And we've made them very much not complicated. And I've seen these loans close in, as quick as 10, 12, 14 days if they're well packaged. So there's definitely, they're not what they used to be.
I'm going to put you on the spot real quick here because you brought up a great point. And I'm just curious for the audience sake, what do you see maybe one or two key common missteps that cause the the turn time, to be prolonged, uh, or common, missteps that a lender could take to improve upon their turn time with a renovation?
We kind of touch on this a little bit, Tom, in one of the later slides, but if you just break this loan out, and I call it the big three, and we'll talk about that, but
Okay.
if you just break these out into the big three, you're just signing some forms, you're just getting the contractor approved, you're just doing getting the bid approved. And if you have those three pieces together, it's really no different than any other loan. So if you go into it prepared to cover those three pieces, it's not going to slow the process down at all. Sometimes they'll get caught up in not properly communicating with the contractor, not giving them the information that they need up front, or, waiting for things to happen. If you're proactive, your three, you can get through these super fast. And it's really just as simple as that. If you start out proactive, let the contractor know exactly what you need, and we have all the tools to help you with that, you're not going to have any problems. And that's usually one of the biggest delays. So if you go in prepared, what your big three are, these close super fast. And once you've done one, they start going faster and faster. The first one, though, is kind of a learning curve, and then they just speed up from there.
Excellent. Well, I won't spoil the flow. I know we're going to talk way more about
Yeah,
the big
all right.
three and different ways
My
that
big three.
Plaza kind of helps support their lender clients too later in the discussion. So
Yeah, but
awesome.
that was a perfect lead into the next few minutes, right?
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. And that's why I love to kind of segue to is, you were able to
Yeah.
eloquently kind of lay out some of the common misconceptions on the renovation lending side, but what are some of the key benefits that tend to be understated for, whether it's the borrower, referral partner, or the LO, around renovation programs?
This is one of the reasons I became so passionate about renovation lending, is that every single person in the transaction benefits. Like, for the borrower, it gives them the ability to even look at a wider variety of homes. They don't have to shy away from homes that have deferred maintenance. They have the potential to add equity. Now, I can't guarantee that that's going to happen all the time, but after seeing thousands of these renovation loans, I see them gaining equity after that construction is done. We see first-time home buyers on the product. It's a good way for, borrowers to get their foot in the door in owning a home, but we also see much more sophisticated borrowers as well. And like I mentioned, it gives them the opportunity to avoid putting it on a HELOC or a credit card, gives them the opportunity to maybe purchase appliances if they're getting started. And it is such an amazing tool for an originator to come to their real estate partners with, offering them a new stream of business, giving them another tool in their tool belt, being able to overcome objections and be able to, have some a wider variety of offerings, especially with how narrow the inventory is right now. Maybe there's a house out there that they've just been avoiding selling because it has deferred maintenance and not having to say no, or maybe they have a tough listing and now you're giving them a tool to be able to help them sell that tough listing. And for our, originators, think of all the networking opportunities, training your partners, helping with those tough listings, becoming a brand expert, and like I mentioned earlier, you get paid on these like you would any of your other renovation loans. But think about it, if you're, maybe have a $200,000 loan and you add $50,000 on in repairs or $100,000 in repairs, you're now getting paid on a $300,000 loan. So it's a great way to kind of reevaluate the work that you're putting into your loans and the benefits that you can get out of them. These loans tend to create really deep, meaningful relationships with borrowers, and these borrowers become great referral partners for their originators.
That's such a great point. Just because of the close communication that takes place
Yeah,
throughout the process when doing a renovation loan and the draw management piece, which we'll touch on
yeah,
later. But such a unique angle, and honestly, it's something I hadn't heard. It's so illuminating. You touched on just the inventory shortage out there, and I think we all spent enough time surfing through Zillow that you notice that the
yeah.
listings that are out there predominantly that make it past 30 days are either out of this world as far as how they're priced, or it tends to be that distressed property that's going to need
Yep.
some TLC or an update right off the bat to make it, more viable or move-in ready. And what better way to do that as well as to kind of upsell what the asking price is or what the loan amount might be by, aligning it with a renovation program.
I tend to call those the dirty dog listings, and those dirty dog listings, they have so much potential for equity gain. I mean, what an amazing gift to be able to give your partner. They get in there, they have a new kitchen, a new roof, that house is buttoned up, and they're sitting on $50,000 of equity because they tackled a renovation loan. That doesn't happen with any other product.
Right. Or even just thinking,
Yeah,
everybody sees the value that they can get in their home and selling it right now, but you're paying that same upcharge in your next purchase too, where you can be just as
exactly,
well served. If
exactly.
you love your home, why not do the renovations that make it the home you're looking for, and you're getting that additional equity?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Instead of listing and selling and trying to find a home that you might not even really want, stay in your home and fix it and love it. So, yeah,
Right. Or,
totally.
get outbid 10 times over trying to find that home.
Exactly. Yeah, that's not a battle you want to get in. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, appreciate that. I want to talk next about getting the word out, if you will. And I'd love for you to kind of give us some color as to how Plaza helps support their lender clients from a marketing standpoint on, amplifying the opportunities through renovation lending.
Well, with the refi boom kind of slowly dying down, Tom, as we all know, like we are hearing from a lot of originators, like, what's my next chapter look like? And where does my next stream of business come from? And loan lending offers so many opportunities to get creative with your marketing. I mean, building sources of referrals from contractors, designers, electricians, plumbers, of business. You can do a consumer direct marketing campaign with signs, flyers, postcards. We have all kinds of marketing materials that we make available to our clients where we've done all the work and put the graphics and the information together, and you can come over, put your logo, your face, your name. There's postcards, emails, flyers for classes that you can use, and we can help support you with those things. You can have a real estate partner. Maybe you're helping them market one of those dirty dog listings with the after improved value, and then working with that partner to help them create a one sheet, like at an open house where they, paint this house, put new carpet in, what will my payment be, and how much will that future improved value of the home? And maybe you help them with a color board, or, just helping the client see the potential of the home. There's so many creative marketing opportunities with this. It's just insane, and kind of leads into, who's our target as well. Who do we want to market to?
Yeah, and it kind of leads me to where I was heading next, but it's a great point too. And
Yeah.
you can leverage marketing collateral as well to kind of help create that vision, at an open house or things like that for those dirty dog properties, to kind of exhibit to the potential home buyer what they could be doing, or to the
Yeah.
owner. Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, heading right down that path, I mean, obviously the pandemic has kind of changed how we function within our homes in a massive way, some of which is not going to change. And, I love your perspective on what are some of the great opportunities that lenders and originators should be aware of to prospect within their network? Did I lose you, Reagan?
Maybe we lost her connection, huh?
Well, I still see Reagan is here. Tell you what. While we work on the connection, we can jump ahead a little bit, Phil, and I can bring you into the discussion here. Just in the short term and kind of talking about, what what Plaza is doing from the renovation partnership standpoint, to kind of help support your clients, as well as Reagan was alluding to a bit earlier. Let me bring us up to kind of that portion of the discussion here. So I guess, Phil, first off for you, and Selby kind of laid it out at the onset, but on specific to the renovation side, can lenders deliver both delegated and non-delegated to Plaza for renovation specifically?
So is Phil on mute too, maybe? Phil, are you on mute?
How about, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. There you are, Phil.
Sorry about that, everyone.
No worries.
Thanks, Tom. And thanks, everyone, for taking the time to join us. Sorry about the technical difficulties, but absolutely, a client can deliver a renovation loan to us on a delegated basis where they would complete the underwriting of the loan in-house, or they could submit to us on a non-delegated basis where Plaza would complete the underwrite of the loan for the client. We see a lot of clients that maybe will start out submitting on a non-delegated basis, just when they're first rolling out the product, just to kind of see how it all works, and have us underwrite that file, and then eventually move to delegated submissions. There's no requirement to do so. We'll accept the loans on a non-delegated basis, and we're happy to do so. And we're also very happy to accept them on a delegated basis.
Phil, to that point, do you see, I guess any key differences or unique benefits to delivering delegated versus non-delegated, or primarily just dependent on kind of the lender's delivery preference?
There's definitely some benefits if you're new to the product, I think, to deliver initially on a non-delegated basis. Just as far as learning the product, you could kind of have your underwriters shadow underwriting us on a non-delegated. And then as you gain more experience and comfort with the products, move to the delegated. But it's really client preference as far as how they want to deliver them. And, we're there to support them, whether it's a delegated renovation submission or non-delegated.
Excellent. Thank you, Phil. Appreciate that color there. And then, along those lines too, I'd love for you to be able to kind of provide some color for us, what some of the tools are that Plaza brings to the table to help support their clients in their renovation lending needs, throughout the loan process.
Absolutely. And we have a lot of resources in place for client support for renovation loans. One of the big ones that we have out there is our renovation lending help desk, and that's reached at natcorrenohelp@plazahomemortgage.com. That is for anyone that has any renovation related questions. So that could be the originator, loan processor, underwriter, closer. It could be a scenario, a live loan issue that's in process with us, just general questions, but really anything renovation related can be sent to that mailbox. We try to get back to you as soon as possible. So the turn time we have is 2 hours for a response from that email address. And like I said, we're really just there to offer as much support as possible, just to make these loans as easy as possible for our clients.
And then Phil, for your as I was gonna say, for your delegated clients, I'd love for you to kind of share some color too on the pre-closing review.
Absolutely. So one of the other services that we put in place is our pre-closing review. And that's used by our delegated clients that would just like kind of a second set of eyes, another look at the renovation piece of that loan. So the client still owns the underwrite of the loan, but they would submit to us for review the renovation package. So we would take a look at the maximum loan amount calculation, and we would also take a look at all the contractor validation documents. So that's really in place to sort of eliminate any post-closing conditions that can kind of slow up the purchase of that loan, because really with a renovation loan, we want to get those loans closed and purchased by Plaza as quickly as possible, because the thing that keeps everyone happy on renovation is getting those draws issued to the borrower and the contractor.
Oh, such a great point. Yeah, turn time is everything. And additionally along those layers, give us some perspective too, kind of on how Plaza helps train their lender clients and their teams to best educate them on selling, as well as originating and processing the renovation loan products in particular.
Sure. We have, I think, a multitude of training opportunities. We offer monthly webinars that are presented for all clients to attend. And what we usually do is pick one of the renovation products each month. So 1 month would be home style, another month would be the 203K and VA reno eventually. And then in addition to that, we have recordings of all those webinars posted on our website at plazahomemortgage.com. And then we can even offer client-specific training directly to an organization. So if a client would like something more personalized to their staff, we can also offer that product-specific training directly to a client.
Which I'll tell you what, it's a huge value add as well, as like you get a client signed up and then they start to get into the process or trying to get their feet wet with processing or selling the renovation tools, and to be able to kind of have that personalized training or discussion to focus on maybe some of the issues they're having or some of the questions they have is a really huge benefit. And would encourage all the attendees on here. Plaza has a great plethora of recurring webinar training sessions each month, very product specific too, and you can find that through Plaza's website as well, updated on a monthly basis. So on the draw management side, Phil, give us some color specifically here, like the process that Plaza goes through to support the homeowner, who we find a lot of times, depending on who they're working with, they may not be completely up to speed, I guess, in the communication, or some of the nuances may go over their head as far as how that draw management process works and their involvement.
Absolutely. So our draw management team, they're all Plaza employees. So we manage those draws in-house. And once we've purchased that loan and boarded it to our draw management team, our reno servicing department, they place a welcome call to the borrower. They'll explain to the borrower how the renovation draw process works. Additionally, we send out a welcome package to the borrower, and that has a great welcome letter in it that includes a lot of important information about how the draw process works, what a complete draw request package looks like. And then they also will find out from that borrower if they want that welcome package mailed to them via email or regular mail. They provide their contact information so that the borrower then has a contact in that Reno draw management team. And really, they're just there to support the process, answer any questions, if they're struggling getting that draw request package put together in a complete fashion, they'll help them with that as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Phil. I think, a huge value add from what Plaza brings to the table for a support standpoint for, plenty of originators or folks out there that are scared to, dip their foot in the pool with, really selling renovation products to their clients out of, either fear of not doing it effectively or just not, feeling like it's going to be too much of a pain. So, I mean, obviously Plaza brings a ton of support to the table from an operational standpoint and a marketing standpoint as well. So it's good to know that lenders are in good hands when they're working with you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're really, there's a couple more different parts to renovation loans, but if you really break them down and focus on those three pieces of that loan, it does not have to be a more difficult product, and it can be a really effective and beneficial product for everyone that's involved in the loan process.
Absolutely. Well, on that note, I'm happy to bring Reagan back into the discussion. Hey, Reagan.
Thanks, Tom. Sorry about that.
No worries. Well, I tell you what, why don't we pick back up kind of where we left off,
Okay.
just around kind of how to find your target, I guess, within a borrower or lending opportunity standpoint.
I'm not sure where it cut off, but I think I was starting with this is sort of the perfect storm of times for renovation lending with the refi boom, the shortage in housing inventory, the pandemic, we're going into construction season. And it really has just created this amazing opportunity in renovation lending for, the creative marketing, people that are working from home. We're now, hearing a lot back from our contractors and our partners and our real estate agents that people want flex space in their home. They want an area to be able to work from home. They want to be able to educate them from home. They are reevaluating their space. Maybe there's been economic hardship and mom and dad are moving in with the kids or vice versa. So, we can build a mother-in-law ADU in the backyard or an office in the backyard for, mom and dad to live in or to create a school impact, house. So tons of opportunities as far as who your target is. Marketing to an up and coming neighborhood, marketing as working from home or educating from home, marketing for the sandwich generation, marketing for deferred maintenance. So lots of, really great sources of loans for us right now that we haven't necessarily seen in the past. It's all sort of changed everything in the last year. So it's kind of exciting because it's really providing a great opportunity for renovation lending.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with just some of the byproducts of the pandemic and having to kind of reinvent how you use the home space. And I imagine most people, especially those with families, don't have enough these days.
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
So I'd love to kind of talk more specifically on Plaza's program comparison, and would love your perspective just high level on the different products, as well as,
Sure.
maybe some notable comparisons between each.
Sure. Well, the K products, like I mentioned earlier, they've been around since the 70s. I love the K products. They're great for first-time home buyers. We see that most frequently, 3.5% down, 30-year only, single-family primary residence only. So no luxury items on limited. You can do structural, so you can add a second story, but it's much more kind of restrictive. Everyone loves home style and choice because your options really out. You have a 15 or 30. You can do investment properties. You can do second homes. You can do you can put a pool in and an outdoor living area. And there's very few limitations to the type of repairs that you can do. Home style and choice are sort of Fannie and Freddie's version of each other. So they're very similar in product type. And then Plaza does offer a customized version of that, where we call it the limited home style or the limited choicer. And we use it really as kind of an alternative to an escrow holdback. It's sort of just an abbreviated version where, you have a loan that's not going to close, it needs a roof, you flip it over to, home style limited, you get a bid forms, close that loan, get the roof on, and get paid out. So it's just kind of a sweeping, quick version of the product to make it as flexible as possible. And then we are super excited to announce that I have missed the VA rental product horribly because I love the opportunities that it gives us for our veterans. And we are happy to announce that we'll be getting the VA rental product back tomorrow. So I'm really, really excited to have that product back in our arsenal and be able to help our veterans. So that's happening tomorrow.
Well, that is super exciting to hear about that announcement and that it's coming back so soon. It's really a great way for Plaza and your lender clients to be able to support those renovation needs for our veterans too. So that's a great service. And I'm sure a lot of clients and hopefully future clients will share in that excitement.
Yeah, we'll have some webinars out about it and be able to talk about it a lot more. There'll be some announcements, but just super, super excited to feel those pieces of normalcy come back and
That's
being able
right.
to help our veterans. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I want to circle back. We talked about this a little bit earlier, kind of little lead-in teaser, and it is a big part of how Plaza helps kind of make the renovation process simple. And you mentioned the big three. So I wanted to give you the opportunity to kind of provide some color on the big three and how it helps expedite the turn time process of a renovation loan.
Sure. Like I said earlier, if you just think of it as a regular VA loan, conventional loan, FHA loan, the credit standards don't really change. The only thing that you're doing is you're signing some forms, you're getting your contractor approved, and you're getting your bid approved. And that's it. And if you break it down in that way and you attack it from that angle, it becomes a lot easier. And you don't get too complicated in thinking, I got to do this, I got to do that. If you just break it down into your big three, it becomes very simple. And we've made that as simple as possible for you. And we have those in a couple slides coming up. So we've created what we call the Renovation One Pack. So you can go to our website, click on it, and with one click, you get all those forms. There's a TRID grid, which will help you with all your fees. There's a worksheet that'll help you come up with your loan amount. There's a very comprehensive checklist that breaks it out into the big three: forms, bids, contractor approval. And then there's also a copy of every single form that you need. So you'll be completely prepared as far as the form aspect to get your reno loan done. And there's an individual one pack for each one of our products. And then we've also made it as easy as possible to work with the contractor. And this is, if you're proactive with this, it's going to save you a ton of time with these loans. If you just get this over to the contractor, there's a letter to the contractor that describes what their role is in the project, what they need to provide: license, bond, insurance, W-9, how to fill out the bid, how to provide us with references. And you don't have to explain that process over and over and over again. We've got it all formatted in a one pack with autofill documents ready to go. And then the last piece of the big three is the bid template. And we've created this to make it perfectly formatted so, it's acceptable for HUD or Fannie or Freddie or whoever we're using, that you just check the box for the product, you have the contractor fill it out. It's an autofill document. It'll even do the math for them. and they're good to go. So and that's on the next slide, Tom. Oh yeah, you've got it here. So you've got your 1 pack for your forms, you've got the 1 pack for the contractor, getting your contractor approved, and then you've got your bid template for the bid approval, and it really becomes just as easy as that.
You've done an amazing job in simplifying the process. I can say that just from putting my old lender hat on and thinking about how archaic 5-6 years ago the renovation and draw management process was at the community bank I previously worked at, and this is a game changer and just how simple it
It
is
was
in
not pretty
communicating
5,
back
6,
out
10
what's
years ago,
needed.
Tom.
Oh God. Where was this when I was still on the lender side? Oh, that's fantastic. Well, I know we're running short on time, so I guess I want to stop here, kind of open it up for our audience. Any questions that you've got, you can feel free to submit those via the chat or Q&A function, and I'll be able to verbalize them on your behalf. Real quick, Reagan, one more time, just in case anybody missed it. Plaza's bringing back their VA renovation offering, and when does that become available?
Tomorrow. I'm just sitting here at my desk and I did a fist bump because I'm so excited to have that product back. None of you can see that, but yes, VA Reno back tomorrow.
Super exciting. And then I had another question in here. Does Plaza's certifying loan program, is it applicable to your renovation lending offerings?
Southie,
Yes,
do you want
it
to
is.
answer?
It definitely applies to our all of our renovation products. Our 203K home style and choice are covered under the certified.
Very exciting. Thank you, Phil. And so quick reminder, any questions, go ahead and drop those into the chat function. I'll see them, verbalize them for you. I saw a hand raised from Maurice in our audience. I'm offering to unmute you here in case you wanted to verbalize that question.
Hi, everyone. This is Maurice here at Value Funding San Antonio. Good to have you online today. I want to see how I can get my hands on those forms and start flashing them in front of different people, whether it be a realtor or a prospective buyer or maybe even a contractor, show them that we're already set to go. We've got the means to make it happen, and the forms are the easy part.
So all of our forms are available on our website at plazahomemortgage.com. On the right side of the screen in the teal bar, there's a renovation link. And if you click that renovation link, that will take you to our renovation landing page where all of our reno products are listed. Depending on the product that you're looking at, if you click the button for FHA 203K, it will pull up the 203K 1 pack, the contractor package, as well as the bid template.
Thank you, Phil. Appreciate that. And Maurice, appreciate the question as well. I know also a recent announcement from Plaza has been the comeback as well, in addition to the VA renovation offering, as your popular Jumbo One offering is back. So I just want to give our attendees a heads up. I did drop a link into the chat. So be sure to register, as we're going to be hosting a session coming up in May, actually on Wednesday the 12th at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 o'clock for those on the West Coast, called Go Big or Go Home in 2021. And it's a refresher for all on Plaza's new Jumbo One program. So I guess before we wrap up, I'm going to turn it back to the Plaza team. If there's anything you want to comment on or add for renovation or for the Jumbo One offering to excite our audience here today about what's come out from Plaza of late.
No, just thank you for having us again on this training. Hope you guys found it useful and informative. We really love our renovation products. We're one of the few investors out there doing them, and we handhold from beginning to end if you're not comfortable. So we're really excited about them. And for the jumbo, I am of course excited. Tom, thank you for plugging that in that little link there on the chat box. So yes, I'll be on there as well with our product development folks and our head underwriter. So that we're looking forward to that. We're excited to have it back. It's a great program. It's been back, but we thought it was time to have a webinar about it. So thank you for plugging that.
Oh, absolutely. And well, I thank each of the three of you for taking the time out today to lead today's discussion. And a reminder to our attendees, I will receive a follow-up correspondence from our team for this discussion, giving you access to a copy of the recording, as well as we'll make sure to put in the Jumbo One focused webinar coming up in May with that registration information as well. So Phil, Reagan, Salpy, thank you so much again for the time, and everybody else for joining in on today's discussion. And hope everybody on that note has a wonderful rest of your day and a great week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Goodbye.